What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I am Loch Ness Monet, and thank you for tuning in. Y'all, I've had this video since December of 2020, and I was like, it's time to go ahead and put it out. So that's when I first installed the lock loops to get the curls that you will see in the end. Some of you have already seen them if you follow me on Instagram. Make sure you go on over to Instagram and follow me if you don't, because that's where I put a lot of my content as well. But like I said, these are called lock loops. I purchased them off of the website. I will leave that information in the description box below. 30 comes in a pack, and they come together. So you will have to take them apart when they come. So they come just like this. And as you can see, they're pre-punched. So you can, you'll be able to take them out yourself. Like I said, it's 30 in each pack. It also comes with the instructions, shows you exactly how you're supposed to put them in. I tuned in to a couple ladies on YouTube to see exactly how they did it and kind of used some of their tips too when I was installing my own. So right here, I'm just showing you the material of the lock loop. They are very flexible, spongy, so that when you're going to apply them to your hair, they kind of give you a lot more of an advantage to kind of move them around how you want them to, and to put them in place exactly where you want them to stay. So I'm about to go ahead and get started here. What I'm doing is just freeing my hair of any tangles. I actually had just freshly washed my hair, so it was still fairly damp. One of the tips that I did realize and or saw in the instructions and also in some YouTube videos that I watched was that you don't want to have fully saturated hair when you are applying the lock loops. One is that it's going to take a very long time for it to dry. So what I'm doing right here is just kind of drying my hair on a cool setting with my blow dryer to prevent having to have the lock loops in for an excessive amount of time. If you do, like I said, dampen your hair, just try to make sure it's not too damp, because again, it's going to take longer for your lock loops to dry and for the curls to form. So right here, I'm just parting my hair the way I would like for it to lay after I remove the lock loops. I know some ladies, they'll part it down the middle. Some will part it kind of like how I have mine, one to one side. That's typically how they wear their locks. This is how a style that I typically wear my hair in, to the left side. And then it'll save you some time in the end too, if you just go ahead and install the lock loops the way you want your hair to lay after you remove them. All right, so right here I am just sectioning my locks and placing how many I want to go in each lock loop. It is suggested that you don't go over about 10, 12. I think right here I had about between 10 and 8. And so what I'm doing is twisting them together. This is a tip that I saw from a young lady in another YouTube video who had installed her lock loops. And honestly, it really helps with uniformity. They look so great once you take the lock loops out, because they're all together. And so once you get ready to separate them, they just come out so nice. So right now I'm just going to secure the lock loop within itself. You can make it as tight as you want, as loose as you want. And again, you can maneuver it around. Right here, I didn't have them too tight because I was going for a looser curl. I didn't want them all the way to the scalp. So that's why I left them slightly loose here. And again, I'm doing that same twisting method, twisting it all the way down to the end and then twisting it onto the lock loop. So during this attempt, I did not use any foam. I just spritzed my hair with some aloe vera juice that I had and some little bit of oil I mixed into it just to kind of keep my locks hydrated. But the second attempt that I did attempt this with lock loops, the curls with lock loops, I did use a foam, and it's called B&B foam, and it is pictured here. It worked fantastically. Didn't have any issues with it. It was not crunchy. It left my hair soft, and actually it helped hold the curls a lot better than me just using the aloe vera and oil mixture. So I've basically completed my entire head. It honestly didn't take me that long, maybe an hour, maybe hour 15, because I really took my time to kind of make sure that I got all my locks inside of a lock loop, because Lord knows you will have that one lock that's just so rebellious, and it's always gonna stick out. So I tried to take my time to make sure I had everybody in, and that it came out the way that I really wanted it to come out. So here you will have some locks that are longer than others. So what you can do is kind of tuck them in, tuck them under, kind of how I'm doing right here. You'll just tuck them in and kind of roll your lock over that particular area to kind of help secure them in when you're going up the shaft with the rest of your locks. You may have also noticed that I kind of did a 2-strand twist at the very end of that last section of locks. One, because again, they all were multiple lengths, and it kind of just helps secure them together. All right, y'all, I'm headed to bed. I'm all done, and I will show you guys the results here shortly. All right, y'all, so this is actually the next day. It was about 10 hours later that I took them out. And as you can see, I just rolled the lock loop exactly the same way back down the shaft as I did when I was installing them, to kind of make sure I don't mess up anything, taking my time to remove them. And as y'all can see too, is that they do have a pretty good bounce to them. I didn't want them super tight, so I was excited about that. I know some ladies like to oil their fingers when they're taking out their rollers. I particularly didn't, because I had already spritzed my hair with that uh, aloe vera and oil mixture when I placed them in. So, I mean, it's kind of a personal preference if you want to. It's not required, but I just didn't. All right, y'all, I have completely finished taking out all the lock loops, and as you can see, my hair is super bouncy. I actually was very, very, very pleased with the results, especially since this was my first attempt. But y'all, hold on, be right back. All right, so I ended up not taking them apart. I did not pull them apart. I was having so much fun with them looking just like this that I just left them like this. And the second time I did my hair like this, I did end up pulling them apart, and they really, really, really came out nice. Either way, you can leave them like this or pull them apart, your preference, totally up to you. But yeah, y'all, here is the end result. They came out fantastic. I highly recommend this product if you are looking for an alternative from flexi rods to curl your hair. This is a great one. So thank y'all for tuning in. Take care.